Hi guys, welcome to Nine's Corner. I hope you're doing fantastic. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And with all this snow that we had in Alberta, yes, I have a cold. My whole family has a cold. Yesterday I couldn't even talk, so today I'm like, oh my God, I can talk. I'm just gonna do a quick video in case I lose my voice again. And today I was joyfully in my kitchen cleaning up my dishes as I watched the bells of St. Mary. Now, I don't know if you guys watch Christmas classic movies or if you're into old black and white movies, but oh, Christmas is that time that you get to pull out some of the classics that just make you wish for a yesteryear that probably doesn't even exist, but you can't go wrong when you have Ingrid Bergman and Bing Crosby. So if you've never seen that movie, please go watch it. It is a family-oriented, make you feel good, got all kinds of great songs in it. Anywho, that's what I was doing today. I started to feel a little bit better and thought, I'm going to do a video. So I'm going to answer your questions, and my first question is from a long-time subscriber who's asked me twice now about Chris Wray. Is he really on the up and up? Because, let's face it, there's been a lot of inaction. You know, we're waiting for something to happen to Trump and his minions, and, you know, you're just waiting, and the wheels of justice go really slow. And so people are starting to give Chris Wray, you know, the side eye. And I was going to do some research into him, and then I thought, you know, it's probably better if I don't research more than what I already know and just try to get a, you know, real clean reading out of it. So I'm not putting my own objectives on it. And the only thing I know of Chris Wray, other than, you know, he's the head of the FBI, I know that, you know, he was a friend to a lot of Democrats and Republicans. He is Republican, but it doesn't seem like he lets that affect his work. Two, he was under Trump, but he's also under Biden now. I know that he worked as a lawyer for Chris Christie, who's also looks like he's putting his hat in to become the next president of the United States. So we shall see. And the one thing I remember watching a while back, and Chris Wray had done this reading about China and his fear about China and China trying to take over, become the superpower, and how they're stealing intelligence. And no, I should not say China, because it's not China. It's the Communist Party of China. So let's distinguish, because, you know, people aren't their government, even though, you know, you might think they're democratically put in. They're not, and the people are under rule, so we can't judge the people based on their government. I wouldn't want anybody judging the U.S. via Trump. You know, it's sort of that way. So we got to think cleanly and clearly. We're looking at the CCP, and Chris Wray is very much aware of that, and that gave me a good feeling towards him. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Ooh, one just flipped out. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say for Chris Wray. Is he a good guy? Is he on the up and up? What's his story? Okay. First card out, representing his past, we got the Five of Cups, but it's reversed. So, you know, unless the cards are completely wrong, it seems to me that Chris Wray was playing a balancing act while he was there with Trump. That he, you know, nearly walked away several times because he didn't agree with the way things were being ran. But this also says that he was looking for the positive. He was trying to remain a strong Republican while maintaining nonpartisan rules, or a nonpartisan way of looking at the FBI. So certainly coming from his past, he's coming from a place of looking to find healing to keep the country together. I think he had all best intentions. Right now, he's currently the Page of Wands. So for me, this means that the sky's the limit. There is so much, you know, brewing in the cauldron. And, you know, they have to play the game. They can't show their cards to Trump and them. I believe Chris Wray, you know, even though he's the bad Republican, because if you say Republican now, that's almost like saying a bad word. He, according to the cards, is on the up and up. He's got a difficult job ahead of him, but he's got potential and it's all kinds of stuff happening. And then we've got the King of Cups, which shows that Chris Wray has a lot of compassion, that whether he's a Republican, whether he's, you know, fill in the blank, it seems like through this all, whether it's be Trump or Biden or whatever he's doing, he is doing it for the betterment of the United States. He's trying to keep the FBI a representable justice. You know, he wants it to be something that's revered. And he is a decent guy trying to do the right thing with compassion. So, Chris Wray, so far, so good. He looks like he's truly a man of some character. So, you know, the cards are saying Chris Wray is a man of character. There's a lot on his plate, but don't judge him because nothing's come out. There's just so much happening. And he's trying to do it with compassion towards both sides, Republicans and Democrats. But I think he's actually really worried about the state of the United States, where it's going, and China's effect. So that tells me that he's a big picture type of guy. So I absolutely love videos where you guys get to ask the questions because I'm going from one subject to the other, so it's interesting for me. So for our next question, I have two questions. One, hold on now. One, how will U.S.-Canadian trade relations be over electric cars? And two, will Brian Jean be the next leader of the United Conservative Party? So let's look at Brian Jean. Will he become the next president of the United Conservative Party? We've got the Wheel of Fortune, but it's reversed. So here we have his destiny doesn't look very positive. Right now, we're looking at delays, setbacks, and a non-positive run. So that's for Brian Jean. But let's look at U.S. and Canada when it comes to relations. U.S. and Canada when it comes to relations over trade with electric cars and such. So for the U.S., we've got the 9 of Wands. So the U.S. is planning on defending itself, defending its point of view, and obviously, like everybody else, needs to make money. So they're going to try to keep as much of the finances in their own country as you would expect them to. When it comes to Canada, we've got the 5 of Cups, but it's reversed. So in the short term, it's not good. It's like a crisis type of deal because you're feeling the weight and the inability to kind of push ahead. But with the 5 of Pentacles reversed, this also talks of recovery. That slow but sure progression will happen. And I know I did a reading, I don't know, in the last couple of years where I talked about Canada's future and the fact that Canada is going to become a big player, even though it has a small number of people, but because of the way that the ice is melting and making way for boats in a different direction, that's going to be something that will be Canada's future. So although Canada might not have everything going for them right now, the eventuality down the road is that they're going to be in a better position. So no, the U.S. is going to hold their position. Canada's not going to feel good about it. It's not going to be a good, fair trade for Canada, but they will recover from it. So the eventuality will become, it'll be a fairer trade as time goes on. So, next question up. Food supply chains. How are they going to be effective? Because there's so much going on with weather and, I mean, fires and droughts and 101 other things that have been affecting us. So how's the food chain going to be? Let's look at past, present, and future for food chain. Past, present, and future. In the past, we had the Eight of Wands, so there was quick movement, fast ability to receive items, to get what you wanted, and it was becoming even more so with the dawn of Amazon and, you know, the promise to eventually have robots just dropping them off in your driveway. Right now, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. People are having to pay and have to pay higher prices, and it costs more to take care of your family and to keep your house and car and all those things. It's all more expensive right now, and this is showing it. My problem is that we have the devil in the future. So with the devil in the future, I'm just worried that, look, the reality is that no matter how hard things have ever gotten, we've gotten through them. So yeah, you may see things like coffee or items that are readily available to us now might be less available and maybe a little bit more expensive because of all the weather and because of all the issues that we're having, you know, and it's not just the weather, it's with the pandemic, you know, people aren't working, people aren't going back to work. I mean, we can just go on and on for all the reasoning. But with the devil here, I feel like politics is playing a bigger role in this than it should. I mean, their overall outlook should be trying to make life the best that they can for each individual, regardless of which country you're coming from. But this is the devil playing politics. And once they can, you know, cause you to have to spend more, they don't want to go back. They want to be able to keep doing it. So we have to be really wary about the future being played with. You got to keep a balanced mind about it. Don't freak out if they say, hey, XYZ is going to be in less abundance and it's going to be a higher demand, so therefore it's going to cost more. This is not going to be forever. This is just for right now. But I'm more worried about people playing with that and taking advantage of it than it is the actual reality of it. The food supply chain will go directly into the next question, which is extreme weather. Will it ease at all? Extreme weather. Are we going to see any easing with the winter coming up? Are we going to see any easing of the weather? Page of Swords reversed. No. This shows conflict, so we're going to be having more weather issues coming up over the winter. There's going to be some stories that are not going to be fun. We're going to have some difficulty. So is the weather going to ease off? Not right now. Not anytime soon. Sorry. And as our last question, I thought we need to look at the media, because I was watching Fair and Balanced, and he was saying how the left-leaning media, including CNN, had announced that Joe Biden had broke his climate promise by opening the Gulf of Mexico for for oil leasing. And that actually is not the truth. He actually was fulfilling a promise that Donald Trump had previously made. So Biden's and theirs numbers are down. And yet you would think that the left-leaning media would be trying to prop him up and be able to tell the basic truth of a situation. So what is happening with the media? Like, even the media you think should be working for your greater good. It shouldn't be a tarot reader being able to say, hey, I've done my research and this is what's true. You shouldn't have to look at 15 different sources to find out the truth. So what is going to happen with the media? I'm really struggling because I know for myself, I have to follow several different medias just to try to get some semblance of truth. So what's going to be the future of media? Is it going to ever change or go back to having any kind of pride or character in the news? Or are we done for? Is this going to be the new norm where you've got to, you know, look at 15 different newscasts just to find the one truth? So what is the, because I mean, you know, let's face it, Joe Biden's numbers down. He needs the left-leaning media to bolster him up. And Trump's not even in power, and yet you've got the right-wing media still pushing him. So, like, oh my God, try to do something a bit more balanced. So what's going to be the media? Oh my. Five of Pentacles. The real news is being left out. People are having to kowtow to everybody. Keep everybody included. And it's all about the powers to be. Keep people money. Keep people in money, and keep people stupid. Something's going to explode. This is going to go on to the point where the media is going to end up being called out even more than what they have been up to this point, because it's no longer becoming... It's no longer acceptable for every other day, for no matter if it's Fox or CNN or whoever, always out apologizing because of X, Y, and Z. That should be a rarity, not an everyday thing. And the media is going to be struck down. There's going to be some kind of big media story that's going to hit. Because at the end of the day, we've got the Nine of Wands. But it's reversed. So I feel with the Ten of Swords before it, it's almost like the media is going to be tested. And right now, based on what they're doing, they would fail the test. There is going to be a test of faith as to what side do you belong to? Do you belong to the side of truth and news? Or are you finally going to stop playing games of trying to make money and put the news as the actual news? So guys, I'm thinking we're going to be hearing some kind of big story coming up about news media in general coming up, you know. And this could also be looking at, and we've talked about this in a previous reading, attacks happening on the media, attacks happening in our healthcare systems and different government agencies, that becoming more and more. How can you have a united people if we don't even have a news source that we can go to that will unite us in at least the truth or the basis of truth? That's scary. Okay, my dear friends, I really enjoyed that. I love doing readings based on your questions. So please feel free to leave questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to get to them. And as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And until the next time we talk, cheerio, my friends. Bye.